Hey, what's up? It's Privacy J here. Sure, things like snowy outside, but I know today's snowy because all the flights closed and streets closed. Everything's closed due to the snowstorms, snowy weather conditions. So, if you want to know, stay home, stay safe, and stay warm for you guys. Okay. So just to make sure, if you have a heat on, just when it's cold and it's still winter, and including there will be a planned because has have activities in the snow at home, but yeah, it's cold. So if you miss any of my videos about the last snow live stream update, so click on the link in the description down below. All right. So, anyways, let's go to today's topics about the snowy weather conditions. So, there's only going to be one topic, okay? So, yeah, and NYC hit by the biggest snowstorm in years. Over 1,000 flights canceled. So, I'm gonna pause it. I'm not gonna read, but please read.
A travel snarling storm buried part of the Northeast on Tuesday, dumping more than a foot of snow and cutting power to over 180,000 homes and businesses across the region.
Excuse my burp. Next paragraph.
The Northeast is digging out from the biggest snowstorm of the winter after heavy snow buried areas from West Virginia through Massachusetts, prompting school closures and travel chaos Tuesday. On Tuesday, 3.2 inches fell on New York City, the highest single-day snowfall in the city since 7.3 inches accumulated in Central Park on January 29, 2022. The snow was not as heavy in downtown Philadelphia, where around 2 inches was measured, although more than half a foot was reported in suburbs north and west of the city. Little to no accumulation was reported in Washington, D.C., and Baltimore.
All around NYC is a mess. Snow mess. It's just horrible weather. Terrible weather. Next paragraph.
Over 1,200 flights were canceled across the Northeast, according to FlightAware, putting the skids on the Tuesday morning commute. Snow-covered roads also led to treacherous travel for motorists across the region, including in eastern Pennsylvania, where AccuWeather national reporter Bill Waddell said, "It is a mess."
So as you can see, there's snow pictures right here. Around Times Square is snowflakes around snowflakes, and it's snowing earlier. And then the snow is on the ground. I see with the cars and buses over there, with all over traffic or ice, whatever that is. It's not gonna snow blizzards as well, and then right around snow, yeah, like a ski, and you can see more snow and all this, and like snow blazers over there, and this is stop the flight cancellations. Yep, that's all. Yep. All right. And more seconds. Okay. Next paragraph. Move on to that.
The highest snowfall totals were reported in the Pocono Mountains of northeastern Pennsylvania, where more than a foot of powder piled up. Around a foot of snow was also measured in parts of northern New Jersey, New York's Hudson Valley, and pockets of Connecticut. More than 180,000 electric customers were without power across the Northeast as of late Tuesday morning, according to PowerOutage.us. Most of those, 150,000, in Pennsylvania. By 4 p.m. Tuesday, outages in Pennsylvania had fallen below 100,000.
Next paragraph.
The heavy, Wet snow was slow to accumulate on some roads, as the ground was still warm following an unusually mild start to February. However, the snow clung to trees and other elevated surfaces, turning landscapes into a winter wonderland. Residents across the Northeast will have a few days to dig out from the early week snowstorm before the next storm swings through the region near the end of the week.
All right, next paragraph.
Want next level safety, ad-free? Unlock advanced, hyper-local severe weather alerts when you subscribe to Premium Plus on the AccuWeather app. AccuWeather alerts, trademark, are prompted by our expert meteorologists who monitor and analyze dangerous weather risks 24/7 to keep you and your family safer.
All right. So, and move on to the next topic. Bike rider in silent film from 1897 saw it coming. So please read.
Riding a bike in the snow is difficult enough without any additional challenges. This short film from the 19th century shows that even after 125 years, some things never change.
Okay, we don't want that. So we don't want to get copyrighted. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna skip this. Let's move on to this one. So, called a winter dilemma. Does your car really need it to be warmed up? Screw the ads. Or stop. We're gonna wait. Stand by. Excuse the ads. It keeps annoying. So let's not worry about that. All right. So we're gonna pause it. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Please read.
Experts weigh in on what's best for the engine on those days when it's cold outside and the vehicle hasn't been used for several hours.
Next paragraph.
For decades now, up through modern times, neighborhoods across the United States have been inundated with the winter ritual of residents walking outside in the morning to warm up their cars. However, debates have sprung up about the need to spend that extra time before taking off on a wintry day. The action of warming up a vehicle, starting the engine and letting it idle for several minutes to ensure the car runs properly, was necessary in vehicles that used a carburetor. Most vehicles built before 1995 used the device, which combined air and fuel, before the U.S. automobile industry switched over to a fuel injection method. Since the engine itself doesn't need to be warmed up in lower temperatures, some experts don't see the need to let a car idle before use, while others still stress the positives of warming up. Benjamin Giroux, writing for the Napa Auto Parts Company's blog, stated that warming up a car can improve fuel economy and performance, as well as lubrication and hydraulic efficiency. Every degree, Giroux wrote, helps oil and automatic transmission fluid flow better, improving lubrication and preventing wear.
Next paragraph.
Joseph Henmuller, former president and COO of the Automotive Maintenance and Repair Association, echoed this sentiment, stating that the oil is the lifeblood of the engine and that there is a need to idle for a couple of minutes to get oil properly flowing. Another reason for warming a vehicle is to get a flow into the engine's antifreeze system, allowing heat to enter the car's cabin to warm up the body in frigid conditions. Yet other experts disagree, with the Firestone Auto Care blog stating that new cars sold in the US have no need for warming up due to the electric fuel injection system. The sensors in your car's electronic fuel injection system are regulating the air-fuel mixture in real time, regardless of the temperature outside, the blog post says. Firestone also states that cars heat up quicker when driven, not put on idle beforehand, something other experts take into account.
Next paragraph.
While it does take longer for motor oil to pump in extreme cold temperatures, we are talking milliseconds, not minutes, Shell marketing manager and former Pennzoil technical advisor Shanna Simmons said. Your engine will warm up the oil much faster when driving at full speed, not to mention idling wastes gas. The Environmental Protection Agency is also on the side of not warming up, saying a car should not idle for more than 30 seconds at a time, and that idling for 30 seconds uses more fuel than restarting a car. In major cities, there are even laws restricting how long the average driver can idle a car, with Minneapolis limiting the length of idling to 3 minutes, barring temperatures below 0 degrees Fahrenheit or higher than 90 degrees. Experts on both sides of the debate agree that drivers should take it easy during the initial few minutes of driving, with Hen Mueller suggesting drivers travel at no more than 45 miles per hour for the first 5 to 10 minutes.
Hmm. So let's move on to the last one. What to do if you're stuck on the highway during a winter storm? So please read.
It's scary and dangerous, and most people don't think it can happen to them. But when it does, experts say it's important to be prepared and informed.
Hmm. Well, it's like last year, so yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to this one. What we? Oh yes, Snow King Blizzard Arctic outbreak still unmatched. Please read right now.
One of the worst blizzards in U.S. history is not only infamous for unloading nearly a yard of snow in the mid-Atlantic, but extreme cold that has yet to be repeated, including sub-zero temperatures in Florida.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sabrina. Yeah, thank you for joining. Next topic.
Nor'easters, bomb cyclones, and blizzards are some of the words used to describe powerful East Coast snowstorms, but more than a century ago, a storm of colossal proportions blasted the region and solidified its place in history as the Snow King. The Snow King, also known as the Great Blizzard of 1899, embodied the term historic with snowfall totals and extremely low temperatures that are still etched in record books across the country to this day. The predecessor of the National Weather Service, the Weather Bureau, called it a snowstorm of unprecedented severity in the middle Atlantic states that was accompanied by a freeze that for duration and severity stands unparalleled. The everyday life in America when the storm hit was significantly different than it is today, with the 1899 blizzard arriving 4 years before the Wright brothers took flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and 9 years before the Ford Model T was manufactured for the masses.
Next paragraph.
The wrath of the blizzard pummeled the mid-Atlantic between February 11th and February 14th, 1899, with 20 to 30 inches of snow accumulating from central Virginia to western Connecticut, including 20.5 inches in the nation's capital. This still stands as the second biggest snowstorm to hit Washington, D.C., behind only the Knickerbocker storm of 1922. Cape May, New Jersey, recorded nearly a yard of snow, with 34 inches piling up in the popular beach town. Snowdrift turned into mountains taller than the horses and carriages that tried to navigate the 19th century streets, causing virtually all transportation across the region to shut down. The mammoth blizzard spread snow far beyond the mid-Atlantic, with snow reported as far south as Fort Myers, Florida. As much as 3 inches of snow accumulated in the Florida Panhandle, with enough snow piling up in Tallahassee for residents to have snowball fights.
Mhm. Next paragraph.
As impressive as it was, the monster snowstorm almost seems like a footnote compared to what unfolded in the wake of the storm. The term polar vortex does not exemplify the severity of the brutally frigid air that engulfed North America behind the blizzard, an invasion of cold weather that became known as the Great Arctic Outbreak of 1899. The extremity and duration of the cold sound more like fiction than fact, with icy air initially sinking across the western United States on February 4th and maintaining an icy grip on the country through the middle of the month. Sub-zero temperatures were reported in all 45 states across the U.S., including a teeth-chattering 2 degrees below zero F in Tallahassee. This is the only time in recorded history that the temperature dipped below 0 degrees Fahrenheit anywhere in the Sunshine State.
Next paragraph.
The sharp cold front that ushered in the record-setting chill did not stop after sweeping across the U.S. There were reports of intense waves crashing into Cuba as the cold front stirred up rough seas, which washed away some buildings near the beaches. All-time low temperatures that were set in towns across the central and eastern U.S. during the Great Arctic Outbreak of 1899 still stand more than a century later. The mercury plummeted to 61 degrees below zero F in Fort Logan, Montana, the lowest temperature recorded during the historic chill. This was just 9 degrees shy of the lowest temperature ever measured in the contiguous U.S. set in Medicine Lake, Montana, on January 20th, 1954. Temperatures of 20 to 30 degrees below zero were common across the nation's heartland, with the widespread, long-duration cold creating a phenomenon that has been witnessed only a handful of times.
Okay, time's up. So we're gonna stop this one. So we're gonna have to end this one for this now because it's started to like because they're gonna be the schedule soon because of this. It's time is up. It's just time's up. That's it. Okay. So just to understand, just so that you know, um, before we end this video, just make sure I'm gonna work on these the Lunar New Year's like yesterday and from the lion dance like I did like last year, and we'll work on it. And we're just making sure other contents from last year we're trying to work on it because without any copyrights. So just to make sure I'll give you guys up to date, and we'll work on more Mapple Pro updates will be along the way that day. So anyways, that's gonna be this for today's video about the snowy weather update because the snow might be end soon, but likely I'm not sure. But I might check the weather. I'm gonna check the weather like likely, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure when it's gonna be end. Maybe tomorrow, next week, because yeah, it's gonna be like sunny. Am I correct? Yes, I'm. So my question: am I correct? Oh yes, I'm correct. So if I ride around. So let's not worry about that. We'll explain about that in we'll explain about that when we'll find out. Yes, tomorrow. So like and comment and subscribe and let me know about it. So if you're gonna subscribe for more content to Privacy J Productions. Oh, you know what? So you can subscribe to my 3 channels, Privacy J Productions 1, 2, and 3. All of my social medias will let you know all about it. Facebook, my name is Jaden Garcia, and Instagram is JTech727, and Snapchat is Scoots0727, and follow me on X. It's Privacy J NYC1. So thanks for watching, and peace out.